Yeah, she came to my town, yeah. She came to my town, yeah. She came to my town.
She came to my town. She wanna blow my phone up, cause I'm hot now. She see my songs on the charts, they won't drop down.
What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, DBTV here, back with a brand new basketball talk video. If you're not a best one yet and you are an NBA fan, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now. Turn on the post notifications because you already know the grind is real. And we are only 8 subscribers away from reaching 1,000 subscribers, which we'll be doing a giveaway when we reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you're an NBA fan and you're not a best one yet and you love basketball, hit that subscribe button now. Helps the channel out a lot. But before we get into this video and this little rant that I want to make, I just want to say next week for my loyal DBTV fans out there, I will be making an update video and letting you guys know what my plans are and what the future has in store for DBTV. I want to get back into making content, and I want to start posting consistently, especially now that it's the NBA Finals and we're about to get into the NBA Draft and the off season. I really want to start pumping out some basketball content. I just want to let you guys know there will be an update video on this channel sometime next week. Definitely stay tuned for that. But now, on to the rant.
So the money could be the same in all places, but when does the role and getting to have the responsibility and more about a team that you kind of run come into play, and how much does that weigh in now?
For all the fans that think like, because I opted out, like I have to leave or something like that. No, this is very much like in the Nets' hands. You feel me? Like, and I think my full max like 5,196 or something like that. And nobody's sitting here saying I'm gonna get 5,196. So before anybody tries to kill me, nobody's saying that. But the Nets have the ability to do something that other people can't. If the Nets come to the table like that and they're being aggressive and they're saying, hey, we got 5,125 for you, like I would say there's a high likelihood that I go back to the Nets. You know what I mean? But if they don't come to the table and they're like, oh, we're gonna give you a 3 for 60, well, anybody can do that.
All right. Me and Dinwiddie's rivalry, we go way back. We go all the way to, I believe it was 2017, 2018, I don't know. But I basically called Dinwiddie out and I said Isaiah Whitehead should be starting over Dinwiddie, and Dinwiddie took that personal. And he wanted to play me in a one-on-one basketball game for $10,000. Obviously, you know me, I don't got that money because, you know, I'm not monetized yet on YouTube. That's why you gotta hit that subscribe button now. But in all seriousness, Dinwiddie took it personal. I was just, you know, joking around. But then it's weird because the next thing you know, as soon as I drop that video, Dinwiddie gets himself in the starting lineup and he starts balling, averaging 20 points a game for Brooklyn and just playing the best basketball he's ever played. Ever since I lit that fire on his ass through NBA Twitter. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the comments he made in this interview that he did. And let me just say this. Dinwiddie is trying to get the bag and trying to get the championship, and I'm gonna be the one to tell you, Dinwiddie, it's not gonna happen, buddy.
Very much like in the Nets' hands.
You know why it's not gonna happen? Because, you see, these NBA players, I feel like they need to realize something, and I'm gonna give an example of what I'm about to say here. A lot of us, we hated on KD when he signed with the Golden State Warriors. You know what? I was one of them. I hated KD at the time for making that decision. Superstar, joining a team that literally only lost 9 points, 9 games out of 81 in the season, which is the best record ever, and he even lost to them in, I believe, the conference finals that year, and then he joined the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. And then eventually, DeMarcus Cousins came. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely hated it. But you see, years later now, I realize why KD joined the Golden State Warriors, and that was to win a ring. And you see, KD had a choice. he could have definitely went to a lot of different teams. He probably could have went to the Boston Celtics, still competed and made a lot of money. Also, he could have gone to a shit team like Orlando Magic. He could have gone to so many freaking different teams, and he could have copped the bag. But you see here, KD took a pay cut to play for the Golden State Warriors and to win those 2 rings. And you see, that's the problem with NBA players today, is that they do not want to sacrifice their finance to win a championship ring. And this is the problem with a lot of these NBA players, because realistically, let's be honest here, a lot of these players, they end up getting the bag. They'll get themselves a $100 million contract, or even the Supermax, like up to maybe $200 million, or freaking something like that. And then next thing you know, they will be playing for a shit team where they will go absolutely nowhere, and then a couple years from now, after getting the bag and they have like 3 or 4 years left from their contract extension, they're gonna complain. They're gonna say, well, we're a losing team. I don't want to be here. Get me out of here.
Please get me out of here.
And then you know what happens? They demand a trade, and then they either get traded to a shitty team because the good teams don't have the money to pay this person, or they get bought out, and then eventually they get the vet minimum and they compete for a championship. This is the problem in the NBA. These players think that they can get the bag and get a championship. That's not how it works. If you want to win a championship, you have to sacrifice. And you see, this is exactly why the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks are in the NBA Finals. A lot of people on NBA Twitter be tweeting, oh, this finals is fake, this and that. And especially a lot of the net Twitter accounts out there even be saying like, oh, this championship doesn't count, worse than the bubble with the Lakers because of all the injuries. But it does count, because injuries unfortunately happen in this game. It freaking sucks. But this one counts. Milwaukee is a good team. Yes, I feel like Game 6 of the series against Brooklyn, it was rigged. And these Giannis free throws need to change, and they need to stop. But overall, they're a good team. And the reason why is because they signed role players who took pay cuts to play for this team. Chris Middleton, he's on a pretty good contract. Drew Holiday's on a pretty good contract as well. You got Brook Lopez, he's on a very good deal. He definitely can get paid more from a shit team. A lot of these players on this team, like even another guy that stood out to me was Pat Connaughton and I think Brian Forbes is his name. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of players that definitely can get the bag. But these role players chose to take a pay cut to win a championship. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns, because they have risen. And I'm hoping that they actually whoop the Milwaukee Bucks' ass in the finals and they get this ring. Because Chris Paul, let's be honest, he really deserves this ring. And also Devin Booker, he's one of my top 5 players in the league. But even they're doing it right as well. Like Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder could have definitely gotten a lot more money with different teams. He got 14 different offers this free agency. And there's a reason why he chose to go to Phoenix. The point being is that these players think that they can get the bag and get the championship. And I know exactly what Spencer Dinwiddie is doing in this interview. He is trying to find his way, trying to convince the Brooklyn Nets that he deserves the money, and he also can play with Kyrie, KD, and James Harden. But basically, he's putting the Nets in a situation where it's like, if you don't pay me, I will go to another team. Like, other teams out there can offer me the 3-year, $60 million contract. Not just you, Brooklyn. You see, that's the problem, Dinwiddie. Because you see here, I do think that Spencer Dinwiddie is a starting caliber point guard in the NBA. And I do feel like him being on Brooklyn is not helping Dinwiddie become a better player. But at the same time, he's one of the best backups in the league. And unfortunately, he did not get to show what he can do because of the injury that he sustained earlier in the NBA season. But if he really thinks that, like, coming off this ACL injury, that he's going to get a 5-year, $195 million contract when you have superstars like Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant on the team, he is delusional. It's not happening.
Very much like in the Nets' hands.
Dinwiddie can go bye-bye, go to Cancun, go play for the Shanghai Sharks, go to Sacramento, go to friggin' Detroit, go to friggin' Rockets, go anywhere. I don't care at this point. Alright, Dinwiddie is not worth the contract. I feel like there's, he is a great player, but we have Kyrie and James Harden, and we have our superstars. It's time to just get some defensive players, get some rebounders, re-sign Blake Griffin and Bruce Brown, and get ourselves a nice backup point guard this offseason that will not ask for a 5-year, $195 million contract. Because I feel like anybody off the bench that's getting paid $195 million, that GM should be fired. And I feel like our old GM, Billy King, would have probably done that, and he probably would have gotten his ass fired. But thank God Billy King's out of Brooklyn. And Sean Marks is a lot smarter than this. He is not going to pay Spencer Dinwiddie. Alright, let's be real here. Realistically, I do think Dinwiddie does a sign and trade. Some of the teams I can see Dinwiddie going to. Indiana, I feel like we can definitely see Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert reunite over in Indiana. Also Miami Heat, because right now Miami Heat, they got a lot of money this free agency, and I know they are going to scramble that entire team and just build around Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, get them some pieces. Also, another scenario for Dinwiddie, I could definitely see him going to the Clippers as well. That's another option. If he is willing to, you know, take a pay cut. Also, the Lakers, a lot of Laker fans think that Dinwiddie's going to the Lakers, but
With what money?
it's not going to happen. Unless Kuzma, they do a sign and trade where Kuzma probably comes to Brooklyn, which I really don't want that to happen. I really don't. I feel like Kuzma needs to go to a team that's rebuilding and where he can be a number like 2 or 3 option for a rebuilding team, and that's how I feel like he can progress through the years. Going to a championship contender, it will not help Kuzma whatsoever. But just overall, I think the Clippers is another option, especially if they don't sign Kawhi Leonard. They will have some money left over. And I think that's a perfect piece for Paul George, and they are slacking at the point guard position. And we saw what the Clippers can do with just Paul George. And in my opinion, I do think Kawhi Leonard is a superstar, probably a top 10 player in the NBA, easily, maybe even top 5, you can say as well. But you see here, with that being said, I feel like Paul George plays the best basketball when he's the number 1 option, and I think having Dinwiddie as like a number 2 or a number 3 option for that team would probably be the best scenario for Dinwiddie realistically. But do I think Brooklyn should be paying this man this money? Hell no.
Very much like in the Nets' hands.
We already got our 3 superstars. If anybody needs to get that money, you need to re-sign KD, Harden, and Kyrie ASAP. I think that's definitely Sean Marks' number 1 mission. And hopefully Kevin Love gets a buyout and he comes to Brooklyn as well. KD's killing it with his recruiting in the USA team. But also another thing that really disappointed me about Dinwiddie as well was seeing him at the Suns and Clippers conference finals game. I did not like that because we played Milwaukee and in a Game 7, and Dinwiddie was not there supporting his team, and I feel like that is very disrespectful, and I feel like Dinwiddie should have been there, supported his teammates, and he should have just been there for his team. So I really hope that Brooklyn really does not re-sign Dinwiddie unless he gets out of this delusional mindset where he wants 5 years, $195 million.
Very much like in the Nets' hands.
Absolutely crazy. I don't even think Laker fans would want to pay him that. I think really no freaking teams would want to pay him that, probably except for like a small market team, because it is hard to get good players when you're playing for like a small market. But overall, Brooklyn, we gotta say goodbye to Dinwiddie. It's been real, Dinwiddie. I hope you forgive me from our rivalry. I really hope you forgive me, because I felt like I really lit the fire on your ass when I posted that tweet years ago, and you started balling and proving people wrong that you are not a G League player or not a second round player, but an actual starting caliber point guard. Obviously, Dinwiddie has grown on me, and I do wish Dinwiddie nothing but the very best, and I really hope Dinwiddie, you know, really decides where he's gonna go, not money-wise, but where, like, he fits best. And I feel like a team like Miami, Indiana, or Clippers would be the best option for Spencer Dinwiddie. But that's it, guys, for this video. If you guys enjoyed this and you guys are ready for more basketball talk and more videos like this, smash that like button now. If you're not a best one yet and you're an NBA fan, hit that subscribe button now. I really hope we're at 1,000 subscribers for the next video when I do this update, so I can announce the giveaway. But you guys have to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Also, links down in the description below. Go follow me on my social medias. All that is down below. Also, I have 2 other channels. Best One Network. We got lots of awesome original content over there. Definitely recommend you to go check that out. Also, I have a wrestling channel, We Are Wrestling. The new We Are Wrestling talk show airs every Monday on that channel, and there's nothing but wrestling content over there, so if you're into that, recommend you to subscribe there. But the links are down below for those channels. To all the best ones out there, worldwide, Best One Nation, we are taking over. Peace.
It's very much like in the Nets' hands.